for other Bucks County monies that we've gotten approved on, but I've seen them turn down communities and say, no, that's not going to fly, but if you want to redo it and come back, you're welcome to, but it's, they don't just give you money for everything, unfortunately. But there might be other grants out there to do if you feel security is something you need, but I'm not sure who would monitor all that. I'm not sure.
Well, sometimes city cameras do force people from doing
Oh yeah, even fake cameras might be a good thing.
Yeah.
And let me just show you one other thing. Nancy asked us just a comment on it. We had the EAC, this was about 4 or 5 years ago, we came up with just a sketch plan for the southern end. This is down past the softball field towards Bridge Street. There's a big open property and it's basically just sitting there, and we would have the trail wind through it. We would bring in more trees. Trees are certainly paid for by Bucks County open space money. Bushes, all native trees, a winding path. We've conceived of.
Are you saying that this way is the Trenton Makes Bridge?
Yeah. Trenton Makes Bridge is right here, right here. This is Bridge Street, and this is Pennsylvania. I mean, this is Delmore Avenue, right there, and this is Central Avenue.
Gotcha.
The two streets they call the island. So we had conceived of this as being just another nice place to go and relax. Although joggers or bicyclists could go there, we even conceived of a giant, very low-cost sundial, which would be a pole pointing towards the North Star that would actually throw the time, what time of day it is on the ground. We'd have large boulders there, and the schools could bring kids in, or you could just go down and teach your kids how a sundial works and reconnect a little bit with something we've all forgotten. Most of us don't even know which way is north, south, east, or west anymore. That's an interesting feature. It'd be very inexpensive. Maybe a little, as they have over in Lower Southampton, maybe a little rock labyrinth that people just like walking through those things. Very low cost. And so that's what we had come up with. But that's just a sketch plan. But we'll be working on it. And we invite anybody with other ideas to come to the EAC, call us or come to our meetings and share with us what you think would be a good idea. We like to hear other ideas. Okay? You're welcome.
We've got 2 ideas right now. Can we get a Gaga park? A what? A Gaga field? A Gaga field?
What's a Gaga field?
It's a game. Gaga's a game. It's about $5,000.
Yeah, that miniature golf. Why don't we have a miniature golf? Put the snipes out there.
Where they throw them in the pool. Yeah, all you need is a Gaga court. But I mean, yeah, I think the idea that we're fighting it now is, you know, yeah, the idea is something like a splash pad is a great idea, but of course it depends on money and how much it's going to cost and how much it costs to run. So I mean, you know, a lot of times I think the ideas that we have are really good ideas, but when we really start talking about doing them, we find out we don't have the money to do it. And sometimes I think there's nothing wrong with thinking grand and doing grand things, but sometimes we found that we're really successful when we do keep it simple and do small step by step by step that you build on. And that's one of the things too that's good about the community garden. It's something that can be built and built and built upon. And again, I mean, not that I would ever want to go into it with, oh, you can get rid of it if you want to, but the fact is you could get rid of it if you want to. I mean, it is true, you know. So at least this gives at least an opportunity for a community effort to take hold, utilizes an empty space, and it's ready to go. So I mean, it's really kind of a win-win. I don't see how we lose on it.
You could get going on the community garden, and that gives Debbie or whoever else wants to form a board to research this and get people in to tell us about it, and apply for the grant and so forth. Gives you a year or two, and then at the end of that, you say, hey, we want that space. And then we decide at that point, does a community garden move out, or does a water park come in, or what do you do? But that's going to be a slow go to get that started.
We're going to cohabitate. And there's plenty of room to do a lot of different things. You don't have to be defined just in these spots. And that's, you know, I've heard other ideas, but you know, it's like, does that particular activity have to occur there? And the thing is that the community garden really, that activity really works for that spot. I've heard other ideas for the park, but you can put
grow all the flowers in the garden, then we can go plant them around the building.
Exactly, and that was actually one of Lynn's ideas, is doing a nursery beds of plants and flowers that we could then use, maybe even sell to the people who want to have a plant sale, but certainly.
We're having a sod sale, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
sod
Sod sale, yeah, there you go, sod sale.
I don't know about that. Did you see the sun?
It's a little rough.
Maybe we can transport
Already
it down to the
made
dog park.
dandelions.
Yeah, right. There you go.
No. Rip it up. All right, does anybody else on council? Questions or anything? All right, what else? I don't know, I think that, we should move forward with filling in the pool. I really do. It's been an issue for us.
We have to make that happen.
We have to make it
Well,
happen.
you know, once
Whether we have
show
this,
you
the
the
splash
site,
park,
you
the,
need my shovels.
I'm sorry?
You wanna do the job, Todd? Are you ready, Todd? You ready to do
But it's
this?
absolutely.
Leave it
jackhammer.
That it's jackhammered,
Yes,
the
it will be
bottom.
jackhammer.
Yeah, that's
That'll
gotta
be
be,
a nightmare if that goes like a
Well,
swamp.
Sid Vic down with the
no,
sledgehammer.
not me. I don't do that.
We really
Yeah.
should, I think.
Yeah, wait, okay, let me see what I'm hearing here. You wanna find that out before we fill in the pool?
No, we can fill in the pool before
Yeah,
you have.
but as far as doing something to those buildings,
Just moving forward.
yeah.
Let's start
Well,
working
if-
before we got the weather.
But if we have the engineer checking out the buildings, then why, I would not fill it in till you get the engineer's report, because the whole idea was to put those buildings into the pool.
Not gonna take that long. It's not gonna take that long. Nancy.
So if you can do that this week.
This is a walkthrough. It's a small
Yeah, they were
building.
gonna demolish the buildings and put the cinder block in the pool. That was the
You really wanna
original
do that?
garden. You put
The
cinder
garden's
block.
not gonna use the soil, they're gonna bring in their own soil to put in the raised bed.
On
It would
top
be-
of the cinder block.
It would be cinder
Right.
block and dirt,
Okay.
it's not just gonna be cinder block. But this is,
No,
so
I
you
get
don't
that.
haul away the cinder block, you can fill the hole with
You
the
use
cinder
it to
block
I'm
and
assuming
dirt.
that's what they did with the lower pool.
That's correct.
I wasn't around back then, but
I guess we need to go from there, can it be utilized as a storage
Do it
area
next
the way
week.
it is now?
All right, then
And,
we'll have,
and the bathroom could be refurbished, have a bathroom in there.
We can get.
And then, and what, within a couple of weeks, we're gonna get back to us at the next council meeting as to the conditions, whether we're
Get
ready
you.
or not.
Yeah, I think they can do that.
I heard you say something about year-round and heated. These buildings don't really, in my mind, get
Well, we have our own
heated or
no, it's depending what you're gonna use them for.
Yeah, but certainly for the garden, these don't need to be heated at all.
Well, do we have a
They don't-
contract
And
with
then
this?
regular
But I did like Ed's idea of trying to, those roofs are just slope, you can just slope them.
We need a peak. We can't go with the same roof we have now.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
they're
they
flat
didn't
roofs now, so if you just slope it, it doesn't
I think
matter.
it was
Apparently
sloped
you
at one
do.
time, but now they did to it, so what the pool is.
Another question?
I was just gonna say, would you guys have to contact the Morrisville Cemetery, they always have extra dirt.
We're getting dirt from them. There are a couple places that Bob already has in mind that are very willing to give us the dirt.
Sit from the cemetery.
Some cemetery is one of them, there's another
That's a
cemetery.
huge hole.
It's a huge hole. They did not bring enough people in the cemetery.
Todd,
Let's go to numerous
Todd, this
cemeteries.
will settle, you're right, this, contrary, this will settle. My neighbor took out a pool and it's still sinking.
Well, every week you should jump in there.
Boy, this is like 2 years that pool is out of it.
Yeah, well, if you throw rubble in, it's gonna settle a
No,
lot
he
slower,
didn't
you
do
know.
that, man, he brought it this stuff.
Lots of open space, it's hard to.
Jackhammer it up.
Some people it doesn't move, other people.
All right. 57,
57, right?
57, somewhere around there?
Yeah, but they're
They're
actually.
just cinder blocks.
They're cinder blocks, they're not.
They don't move much.
Cinder.
They're well made.
Cinder is
Cinder will
organic
break
and
down.
rots.
Yeah, they'll break down.
Concrete block will last a long time. Morass is probably made the blocks for it. And then, you know what he did with that plant? They took it apart, sent it down to Mexico, because they know how to make cinder block. So, this is.
Was it
Well,
just-
many modern homes have cinder block walls.
Well,
But here, like,
new construction, lightweight concrete.
Yeah, but,
All right, so we'll have the engineer take a look to tell us what they can do, and if they say that you really don't want this, or the base is wrong, or it's rotted at the bottom, then I think we should use some of that to fill in the pool. And that was the original plan, and then figure out, and hopefully the Tony Go's place will be able, because it's bigger, and it has different, like you gas line in there, the others don't have a gas line.
If the case being, let's say, they got a canal, because they aren't good buildings. And that's the case. Hopefully though, with the grant money, we'll be able to utilize getting back to that construction.
You have all lines there, so.
Because we do need another one.
And they-
If you're gonna have a garden or anything right in there, we're gonna really use bathroom.
Should have.
Yeah.
But you got water there.
So I guess just get determination from him first, and then we'll know at least where to go from there with those buildings. And either yea or nay, and then we'll decide at that point whether to jump in the pool.
Okay. That's it. Since it's kind of official, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in
Take a
favor say
selfie.
aye.
No, I'm only kidding, I'm only kidding.
Nancy, John, thank you so much for meeting with us on this, I really appreciate it.
What's up,
We're
Dave?
moving forward.
You know, you really make me
We're working
laugh.
on it.
I just sent a note to you. Do you remember the name Vivian Rowe?
Debbie, thank you for bringing that
Oh,
up.
Your girlfriend?
Well, she
Remember?
wasn't my girlfriend.
We still stuck with that monstrosity.
The bathrooms are gone.
No, what do you, what she got us to be like an imagination island, which we're not even using. I guess we want to.
Everybody has money. Yes. It's a lot, it's a lot of kids. That was 1990.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids for 2 years, then she moved out of town.
20 years.
And of course, now,
20 years? Yeah.
next year,
It was not, he was gone.
95. And now,
This lines up
Half an hour, you need to stop another time. Number 7 and number 9.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
and they